Hi everyone, welcome to Becky's Crafts and Goodies. Today we're going to make a card. I don't know if you remember, we did an unboxing and also a die cutting demonstration a few weeks ago. I'll link that in the description down below if you did miss it, so you can have a look. Also take a look at all the dies that we got. We'll be using a few of them over the next few weeks. And today I'm going to make a card. It's actually going to be a birthday card, but you could adapt it and use, it for all sorts of things. So the blank card base that I'm going to use is a 5x7, and you get like a plain envelope as well. Now you can use any kind of card blank that you want. Lots of places sell them. As I say, I'm using the craft one because it goes quite well with the colours that I'm using for this particular design. Now, what I did to start with, you're going to need just a few basic things. Obviously your die cuts, and in this pack I'm going to be using the flower cluster border die. That one at the moment is 348, and I'll link the product details for that in the description down below. I'm also going to be using the simple stackable border dies, which are here, and the mini flower blossoms. So these are some of the flowers that I cut out on the demonstration. I'm only going to be using one of these, and I will show you what you can make using one of those, so you can imagine all the different things you could do with all of those. So what we're going to do to start with to make the card is to put a base down. Now I've cut out a piece of just ordinary spotty card, and it's just a little bit shorter than sort of the edge of the card, as you can see there. Now I don't know if you're familiar with card making, if you've done it before or know anyone that has, but you can use, let me just grab my scissors, you can use these kind of sticky tabs, and what they do is they raise up the card. So sorry if lots of you already know this, but I know lots of my my viewers are not so used to card making, so I like to explain it as we go. So what I'm going to do is put a little square on each corner, and this will raise up the corners, and it's double-sided, so you just take off the top bit, and then that reveals the other sticky part. And once you've done that, we'll stick that on the card like that. Okay, so that sort of brings it up and raises it up a little bit. Then we're going to pop another layer of card over the top, slightly different design, and it's going to sort of sit on it like that. So we'll do exactly the same thing. I think I have got some smaller tabs, but I don't know where they are, so I generally just cut them up if I can't find them or if I don't have any. So we'll pop these on here. And as I said, we got loads of different dies, so if you do want to check out the other opening video, that would be quite good for you to do as well. So take those off. You don't have to use these sticky tabs, you can just stick them down. I'll show you some glue in a second as well. So we just put that over the top there, and that goes, and that gives it sort of a raised edge. And what we'll be doing is the card will be opening this way. Okay, so that's that part. Now what I'm going to do is put some glittery card on, and as you can see, it's kind of just like building up really, and we'll be doing exactly the same thing with this glittery card. I'll just show you this. You can see it's sparkly. And I've already cut out the shapes using the dies, and I've just used my Sizzix machine, and there's a full demonstration for that in the other video as well if you're not used to how they cut. There are various machines that you can use to cut dies, but I use a Sizzix. And then we're going to put that again straight over the top. Now the sizes of the card depend on the size of your sort of base card. So what I tend to do is just measure it, cut it a little bit shorter and kind of do it like that. So that's the base. And I know sometimes you can kind of go around the edge with something just to make it sort of a little bit rough if you wanted kind of a shabby kind of effect on there, and that looks quite cute as well. Right, so now we're going to get to using the die cuts, and I want to show you these stackable border dies first. Now you can cut out thin borders like this with them. You can also, if you position them, you can cut out smaller shapes like that. You could also use that as a tag or something like that if you wanted to. And in this die, it's got these sort of, it looks like stitching that goes around the edge, so you've always got that effect as well. And I cut this out, and if you can see, there's like holes there, so you could even maybe thread something through there. You know, you've always got the option to do that. Okay, so we've got that. And I also cut out of some really pretty pattern paper using this flower cut cluster border die. So if you can see, this is like a floral pattern, but it still looks really nice with the intricate design as well. So we've used that one. And I also want to show you, I'm just going to bring them in on this piece of card, the mini flower blossom dies. Now I used one of these, this small one here, and I ran that through the Sizzix machine, and I made these. I'm just going to bring them on and show you, because you can buy things like this ready done, but it's so much cheaper to make your own. Can you see these little tiny flowers? So all I did is use that little tiny die cut there, ran that through the machine, and I just curled the corners up slightly and put one of these little sparkly pearl gems in. Can you see? Just put that in the centre, and that's all you need to do. You could kind of sit just one afternoon, one evening or something, and just make loads of these in all different colours and shapes and sizes and whatever, and then you can sort of put them in your stash. So we're going to use those as well. But if you look on this pack, you've got all sorts of different sizes and shapes, so you could make lots of different ones, different colours and things like that. And I also just used some of this little string to make a tiny bow as well. So we're going to build this all up now and put all this together. Now I'm going to use, for this, I think I'm going to off-centre this slightly. I'm also going to use some wet glue, because some of the dies are quite sort of intricate, so you kind of need them for the more detailed stuff. I've probably got those a little bit too thick actually, because you can cut these just to whatever size you want. So we'll just peel those off. And making your cards are so much more personal as well. Even if you've never done it before, you can just get some blank cards and, you know, give it a go really. So I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to offset it slightly, so it's slightly more over to the right, and you'll see why in a second. So we've got that on. And I also cut out, using the stackable dies and using that one of these shapes, and that is going to go in the middle. So again, we'll do exactly the same thing. I think really probably I should have bought some that were already done, but little sticky pads, but it doesn't matter. We'll stick those on. And I liked the raise effect that this gives, so I think that looks quite cute. So this can go in the middle. So that can go in the middle of there. And as you can see, it's really starting to build up now. Just move all these little bits to one side. Right, now we're going to stick on this corner bit. Now, when I looked at this, I thought how pretty it was. And if you imagine, let me bring this in, you've got to get your imagination here. Say this was a wedding invitation. I would say get a piece of card that's the same size, maybe as this. You could sort of raise it up, put it on a separate bit of paper, and get the details printed underneath for a wedding, maybe a baptism, you know, christening and naming ceremony, you know, anything like that. So do you see what I mean? That would look really pretty, wouldn't it? You could maybe put a bow or something there on the side. So they're really, really quite versatile die. In fact, all of them are, because you can do so many different things with them. Right, so we're going to stick that on the side. Now, I just thought that looked quite cute. I'm going to try and raise that up as well, because I think that would look nice raised up. But I am going to show you the wet glue. You want something like a tacky glue, a tacky PVA kind of glue. That would work really well if you just wanted to stick them down. So let's just, and we'll pop them on the bigger bits. So snip some bits off, and they will hold it absolutely fine. Gosh, it seems so long since I've made a card. Let me know if you make them in the comments down below, because I know lots of you do. And let me know what you think to these dies, because I've got some fantastic ones. And I was actually allowed, although they were gifted to me from In Love Art Shop, I did pick them, so I did choose them all myself. So they are some that I want. Okay, stick another bit on there. I'm going to try not to put any on the other side and see if it holds it up enough. Now, if you wanted the flat look, then you would probably just use the glue. That would be absolutely fine, like a sticky glue. And you want one with like a fine nozzle, like this one's got. Sort of quite a fine nozzle on the end. So just peel these last few. And then we're going to stick this in the corner, and then put the last few bits of decoration on. So that's going to just slightly overlap the design, as you can see. It's just coming over it a little bit there. Right, now we're going to get our little flowers that we made. We'll bring those in. And they're going to go in the corner. And also, all I did was tie this into like a little bow, and that's just obviously that string that I showed you earlier. And I'm going to put that over this little gap. Do you remember there's a little hole there that we said we could sort of maybe put some ribbon through or something like that? Now, incidentally, I was sent some stamps, and I had some beautiful rose stamps as well. And they would look fantastic on a card. And you could also, it was mentioned on my last video, you could also colour them in, so they would be fantastic on cards, coloured in. So that's obviously wet glue, so that will need longer to dry than the sticky pads, because sticky pads, once they go down, you're near enough there, but that kind of glue is going to need a little while. Now we're going to pop these on, and as you can see, I've done various different colours. Now, what I would suggest if you're making a card is to pick out the colours that you've got in the card, because originally I didn't make any of this colour, right? So if I just pull those to one side, I just had those. And what happened when I kind of put them there, this colour stood out, and I thought, so what I did was made some in this colour, and when you push those all together, it doesn't make the middle stand out. So make as many kind of different colours, you know, that you can get, and it sort of ties it all in. So I made these last night, and all you need to do is get a little bit of the wet glue, or you can use a tiny dot of something if you've got a different kind of glue. And these are going to go kind of on this corner, just I think with the flowers turned up at the edge. Excuse me. I think it looked more realistic, and what we're doing is just popping them on here, and I think they look really pretty. But I'm definitely going to sit one evening and make a few of these flowers up, because you could maybe get like a drawer or something and bag them up and put them in the drawer, so you've just got them to hand when you want them. It would save an absolute fortune as well if you bought the dies and made them all yourself, because they can be quite expensive. Plus it's quite therapeutic as well, so that's always a good thing, isn't it? I'm just popping these on, hoping it's all going to work. I don't know if we need them all, but squeeze a bit of glue on. Maybe put that one. And the good thing with wet glue is you can actually move them if you need to. Do you know, that might well be enough on there. Let's have a look. What do you think? I think that looks quite pretty. I think any more would be too many, wouldn't it, on there? But I don't know what you guys think, but that took us hardly any time at all, did it, to make? And what you can do as well is you can put, if I open that up, you can put a blank piece of card, sort of like a corresponding colour, something that matches, and then you can write on that. But I think that is absolutely beautiful, and as you can see, it took completely no time at all, did it? And it would look really cute. You've just got your envelope, and we've not kind of gone over the top with decorations, so it will still go in the envelope. And maybe if you make your own cards, you could put like a handmade by stamp on the back or something like that, or a little sticker, and then people will know that that you made it. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and I hope I've inspired you to have a go as well. And if you do want to check out any of the links, they will all be in the description down below. So you take care of yourself, and I will see you all again soon. Take care. Bye for now.